Hey guys, in this video we're going to be programming and building an LED circuit with the Raspberry Pi. In this video I won't be explaining how to use the Python programming language. You should already know that for this video, and you should already have a fully set up Raspberry Pi with the Noobs and Raspbian OS downloaded in the SD card. What you'll need for this tutorial is you'll need two jumper wires, or male to female wires, and you'll need a resistor. This resistor over here is 100 or 200 or 200 to 200 ohms. I forgot which one. Yeah. So don't make it like over 250 or below 100, or then it won't like light up really good. Yeah. But you can check the resistor's ohms if you go to the internet and you go to and you type in resistor calculator, and you basically have to input the stripes on the resistor, and it will tell you how many ohms it has. And then you'll need an LED. It can be any color. Just make sure it's not damaged. Yep. And you also need a breadboard. This breadboard is really good because it has columns and rows labeled, as well as the negative and positive terminals. Yeah. The first thing that we'll do is we're going to build our circuit. So just have your breadboard placed here. And what we're going to do is we're going to get, first we're going to put in our LED. So the LED, it has two sides, as you can see. One of them is long and the other one is short. This one being long. And basically the long side points towards the positive terminal and the shorter side points towards the ground. So basically, you can put it wherever you want. But you should know how to use a breadboard too in this video. And you can make the circuit however you want, but in this video I'm just going to show you my way. So I'm just going to put it at, if you can't see, I'm just going to give the coordinating system. For example, I put the longer side at row 1 and column E, and I put the shorter side at row 3 and column E. Now we're going to put a resistor in. And I'm going to put the resistor, because it really doesn't matter which way you put the resistor. It can be this way or even, the other way, yeah? So I'm going to put one of the sides at, one of the points at, yeah. So I'm going to put one of the points at 1D and the other point at 1B for the resistor, okay? Yeah, and now we're going to put our jumper or male to female wires. I'm going to put one of the pins at 1A, and for the other wire over here, I'm going to put this pin at 3A. Yep. Oh, and one more thing. Make sure that the resistor and the LED, that their wire does not touch. For example, my one, it does not touch, or then it will cause your circuit to be really bad. And I think it's called a short circuit. I'm not quite sure. So yeah. And then if you are not sure where I put the things, you can just look over here. Yeah. So we've built a circuit that's quite easy. Now what we have to do, we have to plug it into the Raspberry Pi. Okay, so I'm just going to bring my Raspberry Pi over here. Yeah, so you can see that it's already like plugged in and ready to go. And I'm not going to show you my monitor right now because we're going to get to the programming part later. Now we just have to connect it to our GPIO pins. The GPIO pin stands for General Purpose Input Output Pin, and it basically is meant for programming the Raspberry Pi, and we're going to be programming the LED, so we will need that. And I'm not going to explain like what each pin does, but I'm just going to tell you that each pin does different things. For example, pin 7, or GPIO 4, but pin 7, which is, I'll show you in the diagram. Yep, that one over there, it's basically meant for output, and there are other ones, as you can see in the diagram, that are also meant for output. And GPIO pin 6, like pin 6, is meant for the ground connection, so where your circuit basically ends. So there are also some ground connections there. So yeah. So we're gonna put. So you can see this my wire, my circuit. We're gonna put this one over here. Sorry, I'm gonna put this one over here. Still holding it. We're gonna put that at GPIO 6. Yep, we're gonna put it at GPIO 6, and you can just like see it in the diagram, or I have my another camera over here. As you can see, I took this wire over here and I put it in this GPIO pin over here. It's called GPIO 6. Sorry, it's called GPIO 4, but pin 7. Sorry, I think I said 6, but yeah, it's called pin 7 GPIO 4. Then we're gonna get the other wire, which is our ground wire, the one that is after the LED in row 3. We're gonna put that in pin 3. Sorry, pin 6. Yeah, it's a ground. It's a ground pin. So yeah, as you can see, that's where we put our things. I'll just put it from the top. Yeah, and just one more time, you can see the whole circuit and the Raspberry Pi. Okay, so now that we have our Raspberry Pi connected and ready to go, we can now go to our monitor and we can actually program the Raspberry Pi. Over here, I have my mouse that is not working. Yeah, not working, yeah. So you can see this is my Raspberry Pi. It's ready and set to go. I have a really low color intensive wallpaper, so it doesn't heat up my Raspberry Pi so quick. I have one folder over here, but let's get straight on with the programming. So just go to menu. Oops. And for some users, and oh my gosh, what's happening? Yeah, okay, there you go. Probably like some glitch or something. But for some users, the menu might be up here. It's what you choose. For example, I chose to put my menu down there, so yeah. Then you have to go to programming, and you go down to Python 3 idle. Okay, idle stands for integrated development environment, and it's basically where you can run your code. And yeah, so you really don't need this Python shell over here. All you have to go to is file, and you're gonna open a new file, which is over here, and you can just like cross out this file over here. I think I opened 2 files. Yeah, so let me just cross this file. Yeah, so you should just have one blank file. Just double click on that, or just make that full screen. Okay, to make it a full screen. Yep. And now let's start programming. So basically, the programming part is pretty easy. It's just you just need to import some modules. So for example, I'm going to import a module called rpi. Oops, the P is supposed to be capital. rpi.gpio. And I'm going to import it as GPIO. But sorry. Yeah. So basically, what this means is that you import a module that comes with the software in the SD card, and you're going to import it as GPIO. So basically, instead of calling it rpi.gpio, you're going to call it GPIO. But I'm actually going to call it a simpler name. I'm just going to call it G. Okay? Because GPIO and G, so that's why. Yeah. And then we're going to import another module. It's called time. If you know Python a lot, then you should have come across this module before. So yeah, so I'm going to import the time module, and I'm going to now make some lines of code that I'm also going to explain. So this is basically setting the mode for the what is it called, the g.bcm. Oh, yeah, I don't know why I got that one tabbed, but yeah, okay. So basically what this line of code does, it basically sets the GPIO mode, so the Raspberry Pi knows how we're going to recognize the GPIO pins. There are different ways of recognizing it, like there are different arguments to give in this function. Okay, now what we're going to do, oh sorry, I just made one simple mistake. I'm actually going to change this over here to G because I imported it as G and not GPIO. So import that as just G. Okay. Now we're gonna do G.setup. And basically what the setup does is basically just it basically tells the Raspberry Pi which pin is going to give us our output voltage. So for example, for our one it's going to be GPIO pin 4, and it's gonna what we're gonna put is G.out. Okay. Now we're gonna go like G.output. So we're gonna give an output signal, and it's gonna be in pin 4, and we're gonna put true because it's true that we are gonna put an output. Now GPIO don't. Now we want to blink it for 1 second, so we're gonna do time.sleep. 1 second. Okay. Now we're gonna do G.output again, and this time we're gonna put pin 4 false because we don't want to output anything anymore. So let me sure if everything's correct. Yep. So this is all the code you need. It's actually quite less, but when you make more complicated programs, it actually becomes quite a lot. So yeah. So run. Oh no, sorry. First you will have to save your work. So this window should pop up. I'm just gonna call this tutorial.py. In fact, don't put the py extension because it's already gonna include it over here. And you can name it whatever you want. You can name it anything. So I'm just gonna save it in my desktop. Oops, not over here. In my desktop. Yep. As you can see, I already have one folder there, so I'm just gonna save it in my desktop for now. So save it right over there. And now once it's saved, you can go up to run, and you can actually run this file or module is called, and you will see that it will start to blink. Oh, we have an error. Sorry. Okay. I don't think we put output over here. We put output. Oh, sorry guys. This over here is supposed to be output, and at the end you should put g.cleanup, so the GPIO gets set up, reset. Run module, and now it should work perfect. And there you go. So yep. And when the program ends, these 3 arrows should pop up, which means that your program is done. So thanks for watching.